You're about to spend 20 bucks on a bottle that promises professional results, while the better one is sitting inches away for less money. That's how the detailing aisle tricks people. Most people don't buy the wrong product. They buy the familiar one. 7 brands. Some earned their reputation. Others are still living off it. By the end, you'll know which ones professionals still trust and which ones they don't. Number 7, Griot's Garage. Griot's Garage looks exactly like a premium detailing brand. Clean bottles, professional branding, premium prices. Funny thing is, that's also its biggest problem. Take their ceramic 3-in-1 wax. It usually sells for around $20 a bottle. Right alongside CarPro, Coke Chemie, and Griot. That's premium territory. Here's where expectations change. Nobody compares a $20 product to a $5 one. They compare it to the other $20 bottle sitting right beside it. And that's where Griot starts losing ground. Not because the products are bad, because pretty good doesn't beat brands professionals already trust. Over the years of testing soaps, sealants, ceramic sprays, and protectants, Mike kept reaching for CarPro, Coke Chemie, and Griot instead. The foam cannon still earns a place in the shop. Beyond that, very little became a permanent part of the lineup. Weirdly enough, that's the comparison most buyers never make. They're not choosing between expensive and cheap. They're choosing between expensive and better. Premium prices don't buy forgiveness. They raise expectations. Griot still gets one thing right. The next brand built its entire reputation around one product millions of drivers swear by. And Mike still wouldn't call it the best in its own category. Number 6, Stoner Car Care. If you've ever cleaned a windshield, you've probably seen Invisible Glass. For decades, it's been one of the biggest names in automotive glass cleaners. Around $9 a bottle, sold almost everywhere, and recommended in countless videos, forums, and must-have detailing lists. That constant exposure created a simple assumption: if everyone recommends it, it must be the best. Mike's experience tells a different story. After using Invisible Glass on dozens of customer vehicles over the years, he never found a compelling reason to reach for it over competing glass cleaners. Not because it performed badly, but because it never offered a clear advantage. Good products earn recommendations. Great products make professionals stop looking for alternatives, and Invisible Glass never consistently did that. Ironically, the Stoner product Mike still keeps on the shelf isn't Invisible Glass at all. It's Terminator. That's the one product he continues buying because it solves a problem quickly, consistently, and without unnecessary fuss. Everything else in the lineup struggled to live up to the reputation that Invisible Glass built. Quick note before we continue. Every brand in this countdown falls into one of 4 tiers. Solid means professionals would happily keep buying it. Average means it works, but stronger options exist for about the same money. Skip, it means you're paying more for reputation than results. And full runaway means the marketing has become far more impressive than the products themselves. No sponsorships, no paid placements, just years of hands-on testing and comparing products side by side. And speaking of reputation, the next company became famous long before most of today's competitors even existed. The question is, has its performance kept up? Number 5, Turtle Wax. Some brands become popular because they're the best. Others become popular because they've been around so long that nobody thinks to question them. Turtle Wax falls into the second category. Since 1944, it's become one of the most recognizable names in car care. Walk into almost any auto parts store, Walmart, or supermarket, and you'll find it within seconds. That kind of visibility creates trust, and trust turns into habit. Most people don't buy Turtle Wax because they compared it with 10 other products. They buy it because it's familiar, the bottle they remember seeing in their parents' garage or sitting near the checkout. For a first-time buyer, that's usually enough. For a professional detailer, it isn't. Once Mike started comparing Turtle Wax side by side with newer compounds, sealants, and spray protectants, something interesting happened. The brand didn't suddenly become bad. It simply stopped becoming the first choice. When another product costs about the same, wipes off easier, finishes cleaner, or lasts longer, nostalgia stops being a good reason to keep buying it. That's the trap Turtle Wax falls into. Its reputation keeps bringing people back, while newer competitors quietly keep pulling professionals away. Turtle Wax didn't get worse. Everyone else got better. And the next brand might be the clearest example of that yet. Number 4, Mother's. Some brands stay on store shelves because they keep innovating. Others stay there because they've been around so long that nobody stops to ask whether they're still the best. Mothers fall into that second category. Since the 1960s, it's become one of the most recognizable names in car care. Mention the brand to almost any enthusiast, and they'll know exactly what you're talking about. But ask one simple question. Which Mother's product do professional detailers consistently choose over everything else? That's where the conversation usually gets quiet. Over the years of testing compounds, polishes, waxes, and cleaners from dozens of manufacturers, Mike kept waiting for one Mother's product to become the obvious winner. It never happened. Not because the products were bad, but because someone else almost always did the job better. That's a tough place to be in modern detailing. Good products aren't enough anymore. When another compound cuts faster, another polish finishes cleaner, or another sealant lasts longer for about the same money, brand loyalty starts disappearing. Mother's isn't a bad brand. It's a brand that's become very easy to replace. And in detailing, yesterday's reputation doesn't win today's comparison. The next company has the opposite problem. Its reputation isn't built on history, it's built on complexity. Number 3, buff and shine. Most people spend hours choosing the perfect polish, then put it on the wrong pad. Professional detailers know the pad often matters just as much as the compound itself, which is exactly why companies like Buff and Shine built an entire business around them. On paper, the lineup looks impressive. Different colors, different foam densities, different cutting levels, a pad for almost every job imaginable. But at around $15 each, Buff and Shine competes directly with Lake Country and Roops, brands trusted in professional shops every single day. And that's where things get interesting. Professional detailers don't buy pads for the packaging. They buy consistency. One inconsistent pad doesn't just waste polish, it wastes time. After years of testing different pad and polish combinations, Mike kept reaching for other brands instead. Not because Buff and Shine failed, but because nothing consistently gave it an edge. That's the real problem. When your entire reputation is built around one product category, you have to become the first choice in that category. Buff and Shine never quite did. Professional shops don't remember the pad that worked. They remember the one they never had to think twice about grabbing. The next brand has a completely different problem. It isn't trying to simplify detailing. It's trying to impress you with complexity. Number 2, Dr. Beasley's. Some detailing brands make car care simpler. Dr. Beasley's built its reputation doing the opposite. Read almost any bottle and you'll find proprietary systems, nanopolymers, and scientific terminology that sounds incredibly advanced. The obvious question is, does all that complexity actually produce a better finish? Take their NSP polish line. At roughly $35 a bottle, you're paying premium prices for products that often demand more explanation than application. Professional detailers appreciate innovation, but only when they can actually see it in the results. Otherwise, complexity becomes another form of marketing. That became especially clear with Dr. Beasley's matte paint products. They're heavily promoted and often presented as the specialist solution, yet after repeated use, Mike kept reaching for clean by pans coating instead. Not because it used fancier technology, but because it was easier to apply, more predictable, and consistently delivered the finish he wanted. That's the difference many buyers miss. Professional detailers aren't impressed by complicated chemistry. They're impressed by products that save time, eliminate guesswork, and produce reliable results every time. Products shouldn't need an instruction manual to justify their price. Real performance should speak louder than scientific language, which leaves just one brand, the company that turned buying detailing products into collecting colorful bottles. Number 1, Chemical Guys. Let's be honest, most of you expected this name before the countdown even started. Chemical Guys didn't become one of the biggest detailing brands because it built the best products. It became one of the biggest because it mastered something even more powerful: visibility. Walk into Walmart, walk into AutoZone, search Amazon, open YouTube. You'll find Chemical Guys almost instantly. Shelves full of brightly colored bottles, different labels, different scents, different promises. Here's the clever part. Most buyers leave believing they purchased 5 completely different products when they've really bought several bottles doing almost the exact same job. More bottles don't always mean more solutions. Sometimes they just make choosing harder. Out of one of the largest product catalogs in detailing, Mike keeps coming back to just one product he'd genuinely recommend: heavy-duty water spot remover. Everything else feels crowded by overlap, with multiple products competing to solve nearly the same problem. And Mike isn't alone. Across professional detailing communities, one criticism keeps coming up: the lineup kept getting bigger without becoming noticeably better. Chemical Guys isn't selling bad products. It's selling endless choices. Somewhere along the way, the company stopped making it easier to choose the right product and started convincing people they needed another bottle. Chemical Guys didn't build the biggest detailing collection. It built the biggest decision tree and somehow convinced millions of drivers they needed every branch.